Beautiful. So a little bit of incentive there for
Yeah.
donating, and you walk away with a little tote bag and a gift card. That gives people a reason to go if you didn't already. So you might have already said it, but what types of blood are people really looking for right now?
O positive, O negative, and B negative.
All right, so those are out there, and I don't know my blood type. I'm pretty sure you can find it on your license. Is that right?
I don't know if it's
Huh.
on your license, but we will, part of our testing process, we will determine your blood type, and then that will be put on your donor card that's on the donor app. It's a virtual card so that you'll know what your blood type is.
Awesome. I don't know why I was thinking that was on your license, but that's really cool. That's another service that you can provide. You go and find out what kind of blood you have. And you mentioned that those two drives coming up, they last for a long time, 1 to 5 on the 6th and 12 to 5 on the 12th. Can you name the locations for those again, where those are going to be?
Um, July 6th is at the Witt Lions Club in Witt, Illinois. And on July 12th is the Pana Christian Church on 6th Street in Pana, Illinois.
Beautiful. How has the turnout been the past few weeks?
Been a little slow, but that was expected because people are on vacation. But we've been doing fairly well, even though we have, donors gone on vacation. My area have a lot of campgrounds, so I kind of utilize that and pulled campers in that are kind of not doing anything. So that kind of helps out.
Sure, yeah. And do you think any of the slower, or do you think any more blood would be needed right now with all of the severe weather that we had just encountered? Was there any stop of production there or flow of
Um,
anything like that?
Absolutely. Anytime that you have any type of natural disaster, there's always going to be a need. Um, we had several counties that were without power due to the severe weather, and most of them didn't get power back until late Saturday or sometime this past Sunday. So, I mean, that is very critical that we have donors coming in for emergency situations because if someone's in an accident, they need blood now. They don't have time to wait for it.
Yeah, totally. That's something you don't think about a lot, but I mean, especially if you're in a place that experiences a lot of severe weather, you could be experiencing more need for that. So, yeah, definitely now is the time to donate if you are looking to. And you guys got a little bit of an incentive there, a tote bag. I feel like I've heard a different incentive there. Do you see that bring in more people as you guys release those new incentives?
Usually, yeah, it brings in more people. The last promotion that we had was a beach blanket, and it was a really nice, like, big beach blanket, and it had the Red Cross emblem and stuff on it. It was multicolored. So, I mean, we have really nice incentive items for people, and they usually take advantage of those things.
Yeah, that's really important to do that. And have you seen? I just lost my train of thought there. So we talked last time. I think we might have talked last time a little bit about tracking your blood and knowing where it's going
Oh,
to a donor. Can we talk a little bit about that?
yeah. So if a donor has the Red Cross donor app, when they set that app up, they can elect to be notified where their blood goes. So they receive an email when the blood is being processed. They receive an email when it's being ready to ship. And then they can look on the app in the history to see where their blood went. So my last time that I donated, part of my blood went to a small community hospital in Southern Illinois. Part of it went to Barnes, and then part of it went to Children's. So I got to see that. That's kind of exciting. I don't know the person, but I know that I helped a patient in those locations with my blood donation.
Of course, yeah, that can be very cool. I mean, as a person that you wants to donate, you may think to yourself, "I don't know where this is going," but now that answer is there for you, and you can really track
Yeah.
that. Have people been interacting with that app? Have you heard people talking about that?
Several of the donors that I've interacted with have it. Um, some of our older donors don't necessarily want to mess with the app, but and that's okay. But it's just a really nice feature, and they can book their appointments through that and track the amount of pints that they've donated. There's all kinds of things that they can see in that app, so it's really handy.
That sounds really handy there. You can, I didn't know you'd be able to schedule yourself on the app as well and know how much you've given. That's all stuff that is easily forgettable, but the app will take care of. What's the name of that app again?
Um, blood donor app for Red Cross.
Perfect. All right, awesome. So we're still looking for blood out there. It was O positive, O negative, and B negative blood. We learned that some of the natural disasters here really cause a need for that. What other instances could cause a need for more blood around during times of the year?
Um, Tornadoes, um, flooding, um, um, fires, anything, hurricanes, earthquakes, any of those type of things can create a need for blood.
Yeah, and it's I was thinking about I know blood has to be stored at a certain temperature, and I'm sure hospitals and all these have the greatest backup supplies of power. But I mean, has there ever been an instance where power has been lost and blood is no more is not good anymore?
Generally, they have generators so that they don't lose power.
Right.
So that's the good thing. I mean, they're prepared for anything, so they always try to make sure that everything is running as it should, so that there's never a loss of blood that we have already collected.
Absolutely, that'd be a total disaster if there was a whole
Yeah, that'd be a disaster in itself.
yeah. Losing all that blood due to loss of control of the temperature would be pretty disastrous. So yeah, luckily all the hospitals and blood storage areas have been kept at a controlled temperature there, and we got through it
Yeah.
this time. Are you guys still seeing any repercussions from these last storms here, or are you guys kind
Um,
of back on track?
we're pretty much, I think, back on track. Let's see. Two of my counties for sure were without power. So Coles County was out. One of my, I didn't have a drive, but I talked with one of my program leaders, and he said that they didn't get power back until Sunday evening.
Hmm.
So, and that was in Oakland. And then I know Pana was out for quite a while. I think they didn't, Tower Hill and part of Tower Hill and Pana didn't get, it was early Sunday morning, I think they got. So most of the drives in my area were fine. So
Yeah.
some places it was really weird. One side of the road had power and the other side didn't.
Yeah, there was a lot of that going on. The electric companies doing all they could to restore the power there, and hoping
Yeah.
everyone gets back to full strength there. But we're going to take our first quick little break here on the WTIM morning show. I'm sitting down with Julie Bly, an account manager for the American Red Cross. Been a great conversation so far. Thank you so much to our live stream sponsors, Landmark of Taylorville and People's Bank and Trust. We'll be right back with the WTIM morning show here on WTIM's information station.
Your information station, WTIM. Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to WTIM with Tim, your information station. We are in the midst of another WTIM morning show. Thank you so much to our live stream sponsors, Landmark of Taylorville and People's Bank and Trust. Now I'm sitting down with Julie Bly, an account manager for the American Red Cross. They are still in need of some blood, and you can never donate too much as a community, and to always be stocked up. Julie, do we still have you?
Yep, you sure do.
Absolutely. Sound great on our end. So before we move on, let's one more time with the dates and the times for the next donations. Can you lay those out one more time?
July 6th is at the Witt Lion Club in Witt, Illinois from 1 to 5. And July 12th is at the Pana Christian Church on 6th Street in Pana, Illinois from 12 to 5.
Perfect. All right. So still in need for blood, O positive, O negative, and B negative specifically. You can find that out while you're there. They'll tell you, and you can even get the app and you can track your donations and even where it's going. That moves us on to our next kind of point here, Julie, where when people come in and they ask, where is my blood going? How do I make sure it stays local? What is your answer to that question?
We cannot guarantee that blood will stay local because the American Red Cross sends the blood to where it's best matched for the patient. So if my donation needs to go to Missouri, then that's where it will go. But if there is a patient right there in Taylorville that needs my specific blood type, then more than likely that blood is going to go there.
Yeah, that makes quite a bit of sense there. As much as you would want it to stay locally, you wanted more to go to the person that needs it. So the American Red Cross really makes sure that it goes to where it needs to go and not just stay locally. So that is important to remember. And you can track where it goes through the app, which is another great thing, right?
That is correct. That American Red Cross blood donor app, as you can schedule your appointments, you can track where your donations have went, you can see how many pints you've donated. It has all kinds of things in there that it shows you a history of your donations and where. So there's a lot of, and it also has a virtual donor card that they've kind of gotten away from sending out that plastic one that looks kind of like a credit card. It's right in that app.
That sounds perfect. Now, you might be scared of needles. You might not know when the next time is, and what's the reason people aren't donating as much as they could be?
The main reason, or the most common answer people give for why they don't donate, is that they're never asked. They're never asked to come to a blood drive. So, I've got those 2 drives in Christian County. And so this is my ask for people to get out and donate on one of those dates.
All right, so you're solving the main issue here, which is just knowledge. People don't know that their blood is needed more than they may think it is. So
Yeah.
just that main thing of knowing that your blood is needed and that there are places to go to do it. That's the main problem there. We're trying to solve that here on the WTIM Morning Show. I'm here with Julie Bly. So this is a great place to do that. And knowing that is the main reason is actually very interesting and almost seems too simple. Like I thought maybe that you can't take certain people's blood because this or that, but it's really because people just don't know.
Yeah. And there's sometimes that people can't donate because of medications they're on or something, but the staff, that's part of the process in the history booth, is finding that out to make sure that you're not on some type of medication that won't allow you to give, such as blood thinners. If you're on a blood thinner, you cannot donate.
All right, yeah, that's very worth knowing there, that not all blood is good, knowing that the medications that you're on will be important to donations. And now once the blood is donated, how long is that person's blood good for before it's used in someone, or if it's not used in someone, what happens to it, that kind of thing?
Okay. So, red cells have a shelf life of 42 days. Platelets, which they have a shelf life of 5 days, and plasma has a shelf life of 1 year.
All right. So those are all great things to remember there. So for the red cells, you said about 40 days?
42 days,
42 days.
and
All
then
right.
platelets is 5, and plasma is 1 year.
All right. Well, that sounds good, and that means you can donate, as much as you can. You can track that using the app. Julie, we got a little bit less than a minute. Can you plug your website or where people can go for this information?
They can go to AmericanRedCross.org, and people can donate every 56 days for red whole cells. So that's kind of information that they need to know, because they can't donate every month. Your body can't handle that.
Right. All right. Perfect. Well, we got all the valuable information in today. You're listening to the WTIM Morning Show. Thank you so much, Julie, for meeting with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. This is the WTIM Morning Show. We'll be back with another in just a little. You're listening to the WTIM Information Station.
Your information station, WTIM.